Hello and welcome back. Trying to shoot me already. Hello and welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. It is Sunday, or as my Espanol continues to grow, Domingo. Let's go. May the 12th, 2019, and we are here for show number 72.
Where's the Spanish?
Okay. Es Domingo, 12 de Mayo, show el número 72. So get down.
Good effort.
Better believe it. All right. We, by the way, have had a very interesting day here, to say the least. I'll share this with you briefly. We awoke this morning at about, 5:50 a.m. Central Standard Time to an absolutely amazingly powerful thunderstorm. And usually I do weather videos, and I was upset that it caught us off guard relatively quickly. And unfortunately for a lot of people on this island here in Alabama that we live, Dauphin Island, we're very negatively affected by the storm. Property damage, roof, power. Our tennis courts were quite ravaged as well. So big shout out to all of those here. We were able to get the tennis courts cleaned, and it started raining again. Anyway, shout out to the entire Dauphin Island area because it was quite an experience this morning. So much love to all, first and foremost.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Moving forward, please like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks so much to all of you for watching. You can see all 200 plus of our shows as we have, I like to think that we have gotten better from our very first one, which was pre-Wimbledon last year in the amazingly hot sun on our back porch, where you kind of looked at me and were like, why are we doing this? And then here we are today. Almost a year later.
Yep.
But you can see all those shows on various playlists right here on this channel. So there's a ton going on. We have the Madrid semifinals and finals to review. We have the Rome draws that are out. We have some topics. We have a stat correction from a viewer for something that Carla said erroneously.
Oops.
And our usual ventures down unintended paths. I'm sure that Rajesh right now is very excited that Novak Djokovic won quite easily today in the Madrid final on the men's side. We'll get into that as well. So let's roll. All right, let's go.
Yep.
Ready to go?
I'm wearing red for the clay. Red clay.
Yeah, it's for clay.
Yeah. So we'll keep wearing red, right?
Yeah. This, by the way, this matching twin thing, this was her idea, not me.
Well, I said the French Open is coming up. I mean, they do play on red clay. I don't get why they wear the white outfits when it's going to get very dirty.
And I brought a pink marker.
Okay, close enough.
Kind of like Tsitsipas' headband.
Close enough.
All right, I'm in. Let's go. Doesn't even matter, does it?
No.
Shoot. All right. Anyway, moving forward, we're gonna start out this show with the brief continuation of a topic that we had on the last show, and that was Carla's uncanny ability to come up with nicknames for various tennis players. And we had B-Dog02 and Rajesh that weighed in on a couple. So we're going to bring that up real quick. Much love to B-Dog02. Always fun to hear him ring in. If it wasn't for B-Dog02, our camera might not be as stable. Loving that tripod, B-Dog02. All right, so
Oh my gosh.
loving that thing. 360 view and everything. Loving it. All right. Carla mostly, but I had this list of nicknames in case you missed the last show. All right. Karen Hachinoff, Thor. Mr. Spastic, Tsitsipas. The beautiful beard himself, Fabio Fognini. Potty Mouth, Putin-Seva. LeBron Jr., Tiafo. The Red Bull drinking Opelka. The video gamer, Osaka. El Robato, Sakari. Or an acronym or GIF or whatever you call it. I think it's just an acronym of BBFF. That's Bravo, Bravo, Foxtrot, Foxtrot, which stands for bicep, hit off the back foot, forehand. All right? Carla came up with yesterday Master Splinter, the leader of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles themselves, for Dominic TM. She also came up with Martin Fucsovics, who I think lost today to Dashvili.
Yeah.
We'll get into that as well. Iron Man did not fly so hard today. Negative. We also had, out of those lists, we diagnosed 3 players with collaritis. Okay, collaritis, if you missed it, is where players have found themselves with collars such as this. But we came to realize that there is a trio of superheroes that have come up and manifested themselves and are now fighting the bad boys on tennis tour. So they are the following: Vampiro, the Collarman Pierre. That would be Ben Watt. Vampiro, the Collarman Pierre.
Vampiro.
Kai, K, the Ninja Collar Nishikori. And LeBron Jr., who made the top list already, a.k.a. Mr. Terrific Collar Tiafo, have all formed an allegiance of fly collars and fighting for the rights of all tennis fans.
Wow.
Let's go. All right, so BDog02 came in today, or yesterday rather, with the following. She gave Sloane Stephens the nickname Storm. I can see that. I can see it. You know, she can come in. She came out of nowhere. You know, like
she could be a storm.
Like the storm that happened today. It came out of nowhere. Otherwise, I would have filmed it. But Sloane Stephens kind of came out of nowhere and won the U.S. Open last year, right? Or the year before.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Should be Madison Keys. Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so I get the storm. I can feel that one. The second one was Halep being the Phoenix. I didn't quite grab that one right off, but Carla says that a Phoenix like rises from the ashes or whatever, but
they fight through a lot of things.
Yeah, so I didn't quite grab the Phoenix one, but I'm still trying to soak it up. And then he came out with Novak Djokovic being Magneto. I think he's a Marvel comic guy, Magneto.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so is Joker. So it's Magneto Joker. We'll have to vote on that one. Djokovic, Novak Djokovic, Magneto, or Joker? What is it?
I like Joker better.
I like Joker too.
Because I can see why they gave him Joker, because in the beginning he would joke about everybody, so it fits him.
And lastly, Rahesh came in with a nickname for me. Now, again, my playing days are long gone. I guess at least you could say at a respectable level, but came out calling me Let's Go. I don't know how you put that. I mean, I get where it comes from, but if you had a Let's Go guy, what would he like shout Let's Go, and then everyone would freeze in time and space, and then
you're the Let's Go guy for sure.
But how would that morph into a superhero power?
Well, when everybody sees you, they go Let's Go,
and it makes them positive.
Yes.
Okay, I'm Mr. Let's Go, and that's because we spread happiness and positive energy by saying Let's Go.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What's my nickname, Rahesh?
What's her nickname? I say Pocahontas.
That's been my nickname for a long time. So.
All right, so I'll go with that.
Okay.
All right, Poca. All right, I'm John Smith. All right, let's move forward. So, fact correction. This is a shout out to a viewer from yesterday or the day before. It was yesterday, right after the show, right?
Yes.
And the viewer is Zest for Life. We always love any type of correction. Sometimes we shoot from the hip, and I think this is where we went yesterday.
I read something different, yeah.
So Carla mentioned yesterday that Marismo, when we were talking about what happens when someone withdraws from a tournament in a late round, should they put someone in there or should it be a walkover? And this is a dilemma that's been discussed for, I'm sure, thousands of years in certain way, shape, or form in tournaments. But she indicated that Amelie Marismo attained a final or won a trophy because of a walkover. It didn't happen that way. Her opponent retired actually during the match and not before it started. So correction there from Zest for Life. You are correct.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so let's finish up with Madrid. And let's start out with Kiki Bertens and Simona Halep in the final that they had. I'm sure everyone knows that Kiki Bertens won that match 7-5, 7-5?
6-4, 6-4.
6-4, 6-4, close enough.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that match? How do both look moving forward in the Rome and in the French Open?
Well, didn't we have Ferzi09 that said, how come commentators and coaches don't understand that Simona Halep basically doesn't have variety in her game? All she does is hit, run, and hit. Bertens was too much for her. I mean, I always say Halep does not have weapons. She's never had weapons. She can grind it out. But for her small size, she should be able to have one weapon. Barty has a weapon, and they're about the same size. They're about 5'5", and she could at least slice, right, and drop shot. But Halep just keeps hitting the ball back, and Bertens was too powerful for her, had more weapons, you know? Could put the point away. I mean, he said yesterday, "Oh, Halep is so fit. She has the ideal body for a tennis player." I said she needs to.
Well, maybe not
because she has to run so much to do anything on the court. You can't keep this up forever.
Maybe not the ideal height. And look, wait a minute, hold on, stop. When we're talking the ideal, no, there is the beautiful thing about the game that we play. It doesn't matter if you're 7 foot.
You said she has the ideal. In other words, that she's fit.
I didn't say ideal. I said she was super fit.
She was super fit.
I never would say ideal size of a tennis player. It doesn't matter your size, shape.
No, he meant the fitness. He meant the fitness.
I said she's an ideal fit. She's an ideal tennis shape.
Yeah, her body, you said because she was fit. You can tell she puts a lot of work on the gym. And I said, well, she does because of the type of game she plays. She has
I'll accept that.
No weapons. There's no weapons there. She can hit every ball back, but there's no weapons to her.
But I did not say that Simona Halep was the ideal tennis player, or excuse me, the ideal height tennis player. I said she's incredibly fit and ideal.
You said if she had a few more inches, she could be very powerful.
I don't remember that statement.
Okay, well, a girl remembers everything. Just saying.
I don't remember that statement. I don't
agree with you.
I don't care if you're 7 foot tall or the likes of Fabrice Santoro.
But I agree with you. She is fit. She is very, very fit.
All right, for me, here's a couple things that I wrote for this, and we're going to push forward. We have the Rome draw still to talk about as well.
Sure, go ahead.
Kiki Bertens versus Halep. What did I take away from it? Bertens looks strong, by the way. Mm-hmm. Kiki Bertens looks very fit. Not that she hasn't ever been, but she looks fit both physically and emotionally. I'll explain. It doesn't take much to explain how she looks physically. She looks fit. Her facial emotions when playing points, even when down in games, to her box, it was never a grimace like Tsitsipas does to her box, you know? It wasn't like, I just lost that point. What? It wasn't, there was no Tsitsipas stuff at all. And there wasn't any potty mouth Putin Sava stuff. You know, she lost a point. She didn't go, there was none of that. It was all, no matter if she was up or down, positive. You could see that her eyes were kind of shiny and her body language was sparkly all the way through the whole tournament. I don't think Bertens, by the way, dropped a set throughout the whole tournament, including beating Halep. I'm fairly certain she didn't drop a set. Correct me on that, but I just...
No, she did not. She
a
pretty much
set.
cruised. First set, 6-3, 6-2. Next one, 6-4, 6-3. 6-1, 6-2. 6-3, 6-3. 6-2, 7-5. And then 6-4, 6-4.
Wonderful run. Number 2, real quickly on Bertens' game. I can't say I'm a huge fan of her game. She has very positive energy now, hence why she won the tournament. She could almost fall into some weird forehand category, though, as Sakari, not quite as bad. But when Bertens is hitting, and again, I'll briefly explain, when she's hitting, it's almost like when she's making contact with the ball, she doesn't complete and hit through the ball completely. It's like she hits and then almost checks it a bit like she wants to finish Nadal-ish or like Sakari-ish, but she doesn't really. It's almost like she makes contact.
She lifts her racket
and then kind of lifts up a little bit on it, and then sometimes does it off the back foot, but because she doesn't do it as much as Sakari does off the back foot, she tends to at least step into the ball and not fall away from the ball. But Bertens, I think, would be much more dominant off that forehand side. Not saying she wasn't in this tournament, but I think she could be even more so if she hit through the ball and swung freely through the ball and not hit and kind of pull up and kind of check her swing.
Well, I had a conversation with Michael Figgins from Big Hits International.
What's up, Big Hits Sports International?
He was texting me and he said, you know, a lot of this is the new tennis. A lot of the tennis players do hit off their back foot because the ball is a lot faster coming at you, so they don't have that time to step in. He said, is this a new thing? He said, but this is...
No. I get the theories and the explanations. I understand that, and I'm sure Mike Figgins will agree. I get it. We have to adapt to things, and I get it. But there's no way that anyone can tell me that keeping the game in front of you and staying in front of you and beating the ball out front and hitting through the ball,
yeah.
There's no way that we can go down any other path saying it's more effective per se. I don't think anyone said it was more effective.
No, but you know, I do enjoy her story.
I think it's late back there.
It is late.
We're late getting there. Keep it in front of you. Get there. You're late back here.
I do enjoy her story. She didn't play much junior tennis. She didn't do any.
She played 0 junior tennis, didn't she?
She didn't play much.
Very little?
She didn't do the junior Grand Slams.
Kiki
And
Bertens.
she was a late bloomer. Good for her. This shows you that you do not have to be a junior champion to win tournaments, to win big tournaments.
And sometimes that's a good topic in of itself. Here's a topic. Big Hit Sports International, big time a coach out there as well. Does it matter if you have your juniors play junior tournaments, or with the likes of Kiki Bertens, and I think even Serena Williams, right? Didn't the Williams sisters play very little juniors?
Very little juniors.
Very little juniors.
Yeah.
Is it a good or bad thing to have young aspiring tennis players play junior tournaments, or not?
Well, you had the example of Donald Young, who was the top junior and didn't do much.
Oh, there's a million of those.
There's a million.
Not just
of
Donald
those.
Young.
Yeah.
There's a quadzillion. What Dennis Kudla's another one.
Look at that.
I mean, we can start talking about players. I mean, the list goes on.
Sure.
Jersey, Janowitz. I mean, gee whiz, the list will go on forever.
Yeah.
I could go off on that for an hour. Is it a benefit or not? And if it is, why so? And if it's not, why so? But second of all, moving forward, Halep Bertens. Her team, Bertens' box looked happy, not just because she was winning. So if you see positive energy on her face, sparkly face, everything looks good, smiles up or down, and you see the box happy too, there's a good team there. There's a really good team there. If you see good chemistry box, good player chemistry from her mindset and conduct on the court, and you see it gel with the box, something is good going on there. Watch out for Bertens for the French Open. I don't care about what happens with Rome here right now for this, because I think she might throttle back a little bit, saying, hey, I just beat Halep. I won this whole tournament without dropping a set. I might not want to push any injuries at this point. So don't be shocked if in my opinion, if Bertens does subpar in Rome and then shocks the world with the French. I'm not saying it'll happen, but watch out. Number 3, Halep looks good, but like Furzy09 said, one of our longtime viewers, almost since day one, but it's the same variety, grinding, no variety game.
He said he has some better drop shots and variety in his game.
Yeah, so Halep does run around frantically, kind of like Tsitsipas. I mean, no, forget it. I'm not saying game. I'm just saying they both running like all over the place.
There's many players. Djokovic runs all over the place.
Djokovic, yes, but okay,
no.
they throw that one in there.
Bad one.
I'm not comparing game. I'm just saying they run around all the time.
A lot of players do.
They chase after drop shots, knowingly they can't get there, but they chase after
I don't know,
it
but
anyway.
Tsitsipas chased a few from Nadal, and he won the point. So
Look, but follow this thought out, okay? Follow this thought out, all right? There was a point in that Halep-Bertens match, right? Mm-hmm. Where Halep had a break point to go up in the second set. I think it was the second set. She was running around so spastically, Bertens hit an overhead that was going 37 feet out, and Halep was on a wide open run across the court. She would have won the point, but the overhead Bertens hit.
And had 2 break points.
Had 2 break points at that point. The overhead, so Bertens lines up for it, boom, frames it. It's heading 37 feet out, but because Halep was on a wide open run across the court, the ball hit Halep in the side of the body, even though it was way out. She was like 10 feet behind the baseline, and Bertens won the point and ultimately won the game in which she was down 2 break points in. So I think that this was, if you have someone like Bertens or anyone on Pro Tour that's lined up for a massive overhead, would you just go off and run the other direction to get it? I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't. I think it's a judgment call, but because she went so spazzed out on that one, it took her in the side of the body where I think she would have been up a break at that point in that set. So sometimes running all out can hurt you, right? All right. Blah, 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 blah. Moving forward, men's semifinals, real quick in Madrid. Novak Djokovic versus Dominic Thiem. We know who won that. The final just happened with Djokovic and Tsitsipas. Not a surprise.
7-6, 7-6 was the score against Dominic Thiem.
Good match.
I figured Djokovic would beat him. I mean, Thiem had a good match with Federer and played 3 long sets, and I figured this would be another battle, and Djokovic was the better person and should be the better player.
Better rested.
Yeah, better rested.
Right?
He didn't have to play, and
ultimately
really had nothing to lose because last year in clay season he didn't do much.
And ultimately, Djokovic is a better player. Let's just say. I mean, he is. I think Dominic Thiem was up a break in both the first and the second sets of this match, and it still wasn't good enough. No shock there. Tsitsipas Nadal. That was a good match.
That was a great match. I love Nadal, as everybody knows, but I also love Tsitsipas. And I always keep saying I would love to see these young guys start beating the top 3. And he did. I was a bit shocked that it would happen on clay, but well-deserved for this young man. He did chase every ball. He hit everything well. He can play on every surface. Nadal was hitting short, was not serving as well, and like I said, he will not win the French Open this year.
I still wouldn't rule that out, though. I mean,
maybe 3 out of 5 sets would have been different, but
Yeah.
I still don't see Nadal winning the French Open this year.
Three out of 5 sets. Sometimes, and
He
two
was
out
not
of
happy.
and 2 out of 3, gladiators don't have the time as they get older to let their gladiator out. I still think Nadal is the favorite to win the French Open.
Let's just say there was too many breaks in that match. They kept breaking each other too many times, and I don't know. I see Nadal at his end.
Here's the nuggets I took away from this moving forward that I wrote yesterday. I said numerous times this year that Nadal looks a little weaker. He looks a little skinnier. He's balding. I'm just kidding there. Not really. It's true. It has zero effect on anything else. He's hitting the ball shorter.
Mm-hmm.
He's holding his serve less consistently.
Mm-hmm.
He's not getting nearly as many aces. Not that he was ever a big ace guy, but he used to get some free points. And now it's rare, if any. He's very up and down. Forget about his wins at this point versus losses. I just think overall, from a coach looking at a player, he doesn't look as healthy as he once was in terms of tip-top tennis shape.
Has he ever gone into the French Open without winning one clay tournament?
I don't think he's gone this far in the clay season without winning the tournament in a very long time. But wait a minute. Let's look at his. I think this is his 6th tournament of the year in
He
Madrid.
said this was his 3rd clay tournament.
Yeah, so he hasn't played many tournaments.
No.
But at the end of the day, when you're hitting the ball shorter, there's an issue. It's either fitness. It's something. Something's going down. He's hitting the ball shorter. Instead of him pressing his opponents back with his ground strokes, his opponents are pushing him back a little bit more. That's what Tsitsipas did yesterday, and ultimately that's what won Tsitsipas that match. Hitting that back one-hander with so much spin and driving Nadal back is quite impressive. Anyway, men's final today, Madrid, Tsitsipas, Djokovic. We were in the midst of cleaning the courts during quite an amazing thunderstorm. Again, that was quite interesting. We expected a closer match than what it was. It was over relatively quickly, but as we discussed, I think we wanted a better match, but we weren't ultimately shocked that it was decisive.
No, I wasn't shocked at all. I figured Djokovic would figure him out, and he is the better player. He's number 1 in the world, and I'm sure he was happy to see Tsitsipas on the other side, even though I thought he would have beat Nadal either way if he would have faced Nadal. Good for Djokovic. Answers a lot of questions that, yeah, he had a letdown, on the hard court season, but he's back. Or close to being back.
Yeah, okay.
Close to being back.
I agree with you 100%. I was sitting here just waiting for you to say something that I could disagree with, but you actually said exactly what I was going to say. Absolutely well said. Djokovic, of course, won the Australian, the U.S. last year, and has fallen off a bit, right?
A bit.
It looks to be back, but what I saw today was nowhere near Djokovic's at 100%.
No, but
he beat Tsitsipas easily.
But
who,
it's
in my
a good
opinion,
win for him. It's a good tournament
Yeah,
for him to win going into the French.
It's a very good win for him going into the French, but that's about a C+ Djokovic, and he still handled it with ease. Great win for Djokovic. We don't need to pick it apart. Djokovic is too much for really anyone right now at this point in time.
He ties Nadal with 33 master titles now. Good for him.
Bravo.
Yep.
So a good match, a C+ match by Djokovic, which allowed him to beat a very good young up-and-coming player.
But he can add to his prize money. He had 129 million. Well, I'm sure he'll have another million out of there.
Great tournament, but great tournament.
129 million.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I wish I had just like 1.0.
129 million.
Okay, look, great tournament in Madrid. It's been lovely. Look forward to doing it next year. We're going to move into Rome, though.
But before we move on, let me say some matches that did happen. Men's doubles. Diego Schwartzman and Dominic Thiem lose to Horacio Tecau and Jean-Julien Roger. 6-2, 6-3. And Sue Sai and Barbara Strykova won the women's doubles, defeating Yifan Su and Gabriela Dabrowski 6-3, 6-1.
Great job for all of them. Nice to see that Sue Shea still hanging in doubles. She has a very tough first-round match in Rome.
Yes, she does.
So we'll talk about that matchup coming. And that's quite a veteran doubles team that won that. I think that team's been around for a while, so I wouldn't be too upset if I was TM and company on that one.
Good tournament for Tsitsipas. He's beaten every Federer one time, Nadal one time, and Djokovic one time, which most of the younger generation can't do.
Yeah, doubles again is a wonderful sport, but altogether it's a different animal. So it doesn't matter if the best of the best paired up, the top singles players paired up. And play the world's best doubles players. Generally, the world's best doubles player is going to win, and generally quite easily. It's a different animal, and there's a lot of respect there for those that are double specialists.
Yes.
All right, so into Rome. If you follow this channel, Carla and I always fill out draws before any tournament that we cover starts. We do a predictive draw and fill it out. So this is Rome, men's and women's. And then the one we keep up with matches on. So you can always call our bluff if you just ask for the proof. The proof is in the pudding. Ask for the proof. Carla did beat me in Madrid. Out of all 4 finalists, she had 1, which was Halep. And I had none, so she ultimately beat me in Rome. So if you follow this show, though, we always do predictive draws and kind of break down the tournament as we go. Involving your comments. So what we're going to do on this one, because it's another premiere and 1,000, a lot of matches, we're going to go through and list some intriguing first round matchups and then give you our final 8. So quarterfinalists on both sides and then our finalists and winners. All right? Don't forget, prize giveaway coming up for the French Open, by the way. We look forward to that. Details will be emerging soon about that, so we'll make it fun. Some strings, YTEX, and most likely a very nice tennis racket. So we're working on the details. All right, Carla, let's jump into Rome. So I'm going to pull out the women's draw, if I can find it. And I'm going to go down some notes that I wrote down for just intriguing first-round matches, maybe second-round matchups, and potential third-round matchups, and to kind of leave it at that, all right? Number 1, I wrote down Su Wei Shea, who we just discussed, that's still playing doubles in Madrid, faces number 16, Julia Gergis. That's an interesting first-round match, okay?
I have Su Wei Shea actually winning that match, just because Gorgas hasn't done much this year, in my opinion. She's a tricky player, and she can beat any seeded player.
I've got Gergis winning that match, so we differ on that one starting out. I've got a potential third-round matchup between Naomi Osaka and Ostapenko, who, again, won the French Open. I keep pushing hard for Ostapenko. I wish the best for her at her camp. Hopefully you can find the energy like Bertens and Bertens' camp. Ostapenko needs some support. She is one of the fall from grace stories in tennis that I've seen in a long time. I hope Ostapenko can get going. But that would be an interesting matchup if Ostapenko could find a way into a household match like that could be. Can Sabalenka, Aryna Sabalenka, the girl from Belarus, can she finally get going on clay? I think she has the potential to meet Kiki Bertens in the third round. Could she do it?
Good question.
Can Simona Halep keep grinding? Can Kasatkina meet Halep in a third round? If you follow the show, again, I find Kasatkina plays a lot like Carla plays on the court, hence why I like Kasatkina a lot as a player. Again, it's uncanny if you watch their games. They're very close and tactic. If Kasatkina can gain traction, unlike Ostapenko, they both have been through tough times. Can Kasatkina meet up with Halep in the third round? Does Halep have anything left to even get to the third round of this tournament?
Well, she would have to go through a lot of players. I mean, the lucky loser, although the one that's going in there is Bagu, and that's going to be a tough match.
Bagu's tough, yeah.
Yeah, she went through in the qualifying rounds, and then she would have to face young Vondrousova, Strykova, and that's another tough match there.
Strykova's still playing doubles in Madrid, I think.
She won. They won already.
Okay, there you go.
But those are tough matches, and she has a lot of proving to do.
Yeah, when I'm looking at picks for the following tournament that's already started and a player still playing doubles and singles and the previous one that's still ongoing, I always question taking a player in a big match in the first round just because of travel, tiredness, you name it. I'm going to stay away from Strykova early here. How about Venus Williams and Serena could meet in the second round of Rome? Venus Williams has...
Well, Venus would have to go through Mertens, and that's tough in itself.
I'm going to get there, yeah. So, I wrote here, Venus Serena could meet in the second round. However, what does that say? Mertens in the first round, though. I think Venus will lose to Mertens in the first round.
First clay tournament for both Williams sisters. Not Venus' best surface. I think Serena's won a few French Opens. That's it.
Yeah, I wrote it down simply because it's always interesting that anytime there's tournaments, they always, pair off the two Americans.
If it was in the 90s,
not that it matters,
let me
but
tell you something. If the Williams sisters were playing in the late 90s, early
top
2000s,
and bottom.
top and bottom.
Now it's like,
exactly. Yeah.
stick them in the middle.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, I've seen it for years, but it's always interesting, not just them. If you have, like, Steve Johnson and Taylor Fritz in the same tournament, they're always going to play one another. If you have, like, John Isner and Riley Opelka in the same section of the draw, they're going to play real quickly. Like Chardy and Gasquet.
Yeah, but they did in Madrid, Shapovalov and Algora-Lacino. Let's take one out.
Yeah, they do it often, yeah.
So.
And by the way, I mentioned Canada. I haven't seen anything with Rannick in the past couple of tournaments. Anybody know what's up with Rannick? We'll have to think about that.
And Andreescu.
I just thought about that. Yeah, Rannick and Andreescu. They were like, ooh, they're back. And Andreescu took over the women's tennis after Indian Wells, right? And then all of a sudden, you don't hear from him. Maybe it's a clay break.
Yeah.
All right.
And Coco Vandeweghe, too.
That's
another
a good
Canadian.
one. But Coco Vandeweghe is a U.S. player.
No, she's from Canada, I thought.
No, Coco
she
Vandeweghe is a U.S. player. What? Wah, 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 wah. She just called Coco Vandeweghe American. All right, that's kind of like her match correction from yesterday.
Oops.
But I caught that one. I caught that one right here.
Okay. Sorry.
All right, Azarenka playing Svitolina potentially in the second round. I have Azarenka doing really well in this tournament. I do also. I actually have Azarenka going to a semifinal against Kvitova, but I think Svitolina is going to get a good old beating on her potential second round match against Azarenka.
Mm-hmm.
Another American matchup that could take place in the second round would be Madison Keys against Sofia Kenin.
Well, she has a tough first round.
I said second.
Her cog will be tough.
Oh.
Yeah, she went. See, you don't have the qualifiers in there. I do. Her cog came through, and that's her first match. Keys could lose the first round.
Her cog deserves a nickname. Her cog is quite a big bicep as well. Maybe we should come up for a nickname for her. She deserves one. Anyway, that's a good point. But again, all I'm getting at is within the first two rounds of this tournament. Within the first two rounds, you have the likes of a Venus-Serena matchup, a Sofia Kenin and Madison Keys matchup, a Sloane Stephens and Serena matchup potentially in the third round, and Danielle Collins just below.
I know who her cog is. She is Harley Quinn. You wouldn't know Suicide Squad, the blonde girl.
All right, Harley Quinn, her cog. I've never heard of Harley Quinn in my life.
She's the one that looks like Joker. She's the two ponytails. She's got tattoos everywhere. Looks like her.
All right, I'll look that up.
If you watch Marvel Comics or any superheroes, you'll know.
All right, so what was her name? Harley Hooper?
I gotta look back again. I forgot her name. Hold on.
Anyway.
Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn.
Suicide Squad.
All right, anyway, that's not a great name. Positive Energy, we're talking about Suicide Squad. How does
that's
that even
the name
fit?
of the group. I don't know.
Don't get it.
Okay.
All right, I'll check it out. We'll check it out later. Belinda Bencic against Savitsova in the first round. Good match right off the bat. We have Potty Mouth Putintseva. Watch out if you were in Putintseva's box, because she might give you a whole dose of some good old potty mouth.
Also, Mladenovic will be a good match against Carolina Garcia.
Yeah, I have that written here.
She came through in that match, by the way. You didn't see the qualifiers go through.
Yeah, I like Garcia a lot in terms of recently. I think she shows a little bit of heart. I think Garcia has a chance to do well for her country at the French Open. But watch out for Potty Mouth Putintseva against Serenko in the first round. And then also a potential third round matchup between either Garcia, that you just mentioned, or Barty, because I have them squaring off against Kvitova. So we'll see what happens there in that third round.
And Irani was given the wild card, even though she had been banned for a little while.
Sarah
for
Irani?
Substance abuse, yeah.
Well, good for Irani to be back. I think as human beings, we deserve second chances, right?
Definitely, yes.
Great job. I hope Irani does well.
All right. So who are your top 8 there?
On the women's side of Rome, to make everything quicker, we're going to give you our predictive quarterfinalists. That is, last 8 when it gets down to it. And the finalists and the winners. My top 8 are Osaka, Bertens, Halep, Serena, Azarenka, Madison Keys, Garcia, and Kvitova. My finalists would be Naomi Osaka playing Petra Kvitova, with Kvitova winning that.
Mine is Osaka, Bertens, Halep, Serena Williams, Azarenka, Pliskova, Bencic, Kvitova, and my final is Serena against Bencic and Bencic winning Rome.
So we completely different on that. Again, the last tournament, Madrid, I went completely outlandish on, and it burned me. I don't want to get beat again, so I went safer. I do think that Osaka and Kvitova can get beaten well before the final. But I went safe because I don't want to go down 0-3 to Carlon Clay this season. I at least want to try to pull out a victory. So I played it a little safer, but I don't think necessarily that's the case. All right, so let's jump right into
the men's.
Exactly. The men's Rome side, and I think some matches have already taken place.
They have.
Don't tell me yet, though. Don't
Okay.
tell me any results yet. And let's go through first round intriguing matchup, and then if I lose on the air, I lose on the air. I mean, that's fine. Or live, whatever. I mean, this is a tripod, B-Dogpot, and it's not. It takes 3 hours to download once we film it. Talking about live. Jeez,
Thanks to the connection.
we're like the furthest thing from live. We're like,
we couldn't do a live show even if we wanted to.
yeah, our internet's so slow. When you try to film something live, it comes up as one big pixel, and the next pixel comes up like 3 hours later.
It's like the dial. Remember dial-up?
Yeah. That's how we roll. Static. That's what they call internet. Static. All right, here we go. Jumping right into the men's side. Intriguing matchups. We're going to do this quickly. Carreno Busta versus Shapovalov in the first round.
Good match.
Medvedev versus Kyrgios. Hopefully we don't have any buffoons buying tickets for another lovely buffoon on the court. Djokovic has an interesting draw here. Will he have the energy to go through the likes of potential Wawrinka, Del Potro, Cecchinato, Medvedev, Kyrgios, Cilic, Monfils, Nishikori, Zverev, Struff, or Peja? Comment below. We're going to do this one quick. Interesting first round matchup. Wawrinka versus David Goffin right off the bat. I'm going Wawrinka.
Me too. And I haven't beat him Del Potro.
Interesting second round matchup. Wawrinka versus Del Potro. I as well have Wawrinka winning. Thanks for the heads up.
Yep.
Interesting matchup. Monfils versus the young Zverev in the third round. If it happens, it's a fun match.
It will be a fun match to watch.
Can Grigor Dimitrov win a match? I don't know. He has a first round against Jen-Lennard Struff, the German, and I really think Jen-Lennard Struff will beat him.
I actually have Dimitrov winning that first
Oh,
round.
I took Struff.
His new coach, by the way, is Stefanos with Agassi.
Who? Radek?
Yes.
Radek with the hexagon, octagon,
Yes.
racket.
Stefanos
Is coaching now Dimitrov?
Yes.
Oh, man.
With Agassi.
Here's an omen. Stepanek, don't let him call you coach. Just say friend because you're not going to look too good. It's not going to be good on your resume when he fires you after losing to Struff. Struff will win that match, and I think Struff will win in straight sets, if not 3. Struff will win that. Mark my words.
Okay.
I'll bet this red shirt. If Struff doesn't win, I'll send this red shirt to someone if you call me out on it. Because if she didn't make me wear it, I would have never worn it in the first place.
Well, Taylor Fritz came through and we'll be playing Peja, Guida, and I actually have Taylor Fritz winning that match.
Another intriguing first round matchup: Tsonga versus Fognini. Interesting. Maybe so, maybe not. Borna Koric versus Felix Auger-Aliassime in the first round. That's a nice match. Keep your eyes on Laszlo Jiri. He's in a tough section of the draw with Rafael Nadal, though, so that may not go too well. But I've seen Nadal now vulnerable, so I'm not shocked necessarily at what happens on Nadal's side of the draw, at least if he's playing. I think, by the way, Federer will have a very tough time here in Rome because of the following.
Well, he decided to play at last minute, so.
Yeah, that breaking news, in case
Yeah.
you didn't know
He
that.
decided to play last minute. I guess he felt he did well in clay, which I thought he did. And good for him. He wants to get a few more clay matches in.
Yeah, so breaking news here. You told me this yesterday. You
Yeah.
told me Federer was playing Rome yesterday. I was like, what? So here's Federer's playing Rome. Here's his potential third round and beyond. Borna Koric, Tsitsipas, Nadal semi, and then maybe a Djokovic final. I think that's too much for Federer right now, just before the French Open. I think, by the way, my upset of the whole tournament, if this happens, I think that Borna Koric takes out Roger Federer in the third round. Only because the French Open's knocking. I know Federer wants another major under his belt. What better place to get one than at Roland Garros?
Really? You think? I don't even think Borna Koric is going to get through his first round.
I think Borna Koric.
I think the 18-year-old is going to beat him.
Okay, so Coric is facing Auger Aliassime.
He'll lose that first round.
Coric will win. We're going to do this quickly. Coric will win that match easily.
No, he will not.
He'll win that match easily. Then he'll beat Millman easily. Then he'll face Federer and maybe beat Federer in 3 sets and wind up in a quarterfinal against Tsitsipas.
No.
We'll see. I think
Millman could go down to Cameron Norrie. I mean, no, I disagree.
I think Federer goes out in the 3rd round of this tournament to Borna Coric. Count it.
Okay.
All right. Will Nadal finally win a clay title? Yes or no?
No. I don't think he wants to spend much energy on this tournament.
Nadal is vulnerable. I think Federer has a better chance of winning. Well, actually, let me rewind that. I'm shooting from the hip. I think Nadal is a semi favorite to win this tournament.
Don't shoot me, but I actually have Federer winning this tournament.
Okay, I'd be happy if that happened. But I don't think it will. I think Borna Coric takes out Federer in the 3rd round. And the timeless Federer goes home to rest for the Roland Garros.
No way.
We'll see. My final 8 for the men's. Final 8. Quarterfinalists. Novak Djokovic, Wawrinka, Monfils, Struff, Tsitsipas, Borna Coric, Dominic Thiem, and Rafael Nadal. My finalists being Wawrinka. Yes, that's right. I think Stan the Man will take out Novak in the semifinals. And I think Nadal will meet Wawrinka in the final. And I think Nadal will win his first tournament of the year here in Rome. Not of the year. I think
Yeah, would be
his first clay tournament.
Yeah. Mine is Djokovic, Medvedev, Monfils, Nishi, Corey, Tsitsipas, Federer, Thiem, Nadal, Djokovic, Federer final, Federer winning.
I would love it if that happens. I don't think Rahesh would be too happy if that happens.
By the way, there were a few first-round matches that were played. Bertens took out Puig today. Kohlschreiber took out Simon. The 17-year-old from Italy, Yannick Sinner, his 2nd match won.
Ooh.
Took out Steve Johnson in 3 sets. Looks like a boy still. 17 years old. His 2nd match he's won in his whole career.
Yeah, we watched some of this match. Good job.
Red-haired kid.
Good job for the 17-year-old Italian wild card.
Hometown.
Yeah, great job for the tournament organizers here in Rome to give the kid a wild card. They probably caught grief for that. Came in, and Steve Johnson was up, I think, 4-1 or 5-1 in the first set. The tides changed quickly.
Yeah.
17-year-old represented. Good job.
Batista Agut took out Andreas Seppi, and Nicholas Bashvili took out Martin Fucsovic.
Told you, Iron Man wasn't burning today.
Nope.
All right, that's the end of the draws. We will start breaking down Rome, our next show. We're going to end the show today, as usual, with a quote of the day and a thought of the day. So here we go. By the way, good luck to the Denver Nuggets. We have a lot of Serbian fans, and the Denver Nuggets, because both of our basketball teams lost, are facing the Portland Trailblazers tonight in a monumental Game 7. And Nikola Jokic, another Joker nicknamed player, this one in the NBA, is playing tonight for a pivotal Game 7. Best of luck there. Quote number 1. This comes from Gautama Buddha. All right. Quote. Conquer, C-O-N-Q-U-E-R, conquer. Conquer the angry one by not getting angry. Conquer the wicked one by goodness. Conquer the stingy by generosity, and the liar by speaking the truth. Okay, so I'll read it straightforward through. Conquer the angry one by not getting angry. Conquer the wicked by goodness. Conquer the stingy by generosity, and the liar by speaking the truth.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, okay, I gotta know.
My thoughts on that. Great quote, great thought. Sometimes doing the above is much easier said than done. Kind of like playing the game of tennis, right? It's much easier said than done. Hey, why didn't you hit that ball at the line for the winner and clear the net by 6 feet and nail it right in the corner? It's easier said than done. Very tough to do. I like to think of life and these type of things as on a tennis court, right? With the world watching you play. Right? So if you, or you, Carla, or myself, or my son, Chris, was on a tennis court with the world watching, I think to myself in tight situations or tight spots, how would I act? Would I make bad line calls? Would I smash rackets? Would I yell at the umpire? Would I tear my shirt off and go, "Whoa!" If I won? Would I flip my collar up to play? Would I wear basketball shoes? How about soccer cleats? Would I play at public courts and let people that are waiting not play and just sit there and hog them up? Would I scream at my box or the coach, screaming at them why I didn't win the last point? Putin save or 7 Silva. Kira goes, whoever it may be. Would I do that? I think if we go back to the quote that we just read, if we try to think about every situation we're in, kind of like being on a tennis court with the world watching, how would we act? Think about that. Think about that. Life is tough. Be positive. Be positive and think about that as well. If we think about positive things, generally good things happen. Like Albert Einstein said, the ideals which have always shone before me and filled me with joy are goodness, beauty, and truth. Well said. Okay? Keep it simple. Okay? We don't take material things to the grave. Enjoy what you see and enjoy the happy things in life. Kindness, goodness, beauty, and truth. The alternate always catches up with you no matter what. All right? That's it, everyone. See you all soon. Rome is here. Click like below, thumbs up below, that is, however you look at it, and subscribe to our channel. We are always very thankful for that. Share our videos. A big shout out always to YTEX Strings and personal friend and owner Ivor Savage, who always looks out for our business needs, and much, much more than that, especially from a racket stringing perspective. Take care, everyone. We will see you soon. Time to go clean up after the storm. And Carla, as always, says,
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.